But this game dominates the talk right now. Kirk, Penn State hasn't won a road game against the top 5 team since 1994. They're 1-8 against Ohio State under Franklin. The big thing today is the loser of this game is going to need help in the Big Ten. There's a huge consequence to this game.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it so exciting. The other thing is we really don't know how good, especially Penn State, is yet. They've been dominant in every phase, haven't really played anybody, with all due respect to Pat's West Virginia team. They haven't been tested. So today they get tested on the road, especially at quarterback Drew Aller. And this is where I think what makes the Penn State-Ohio State game, especially in the middle of October, exciting is you have a team in Penn State that we think maybe this is the year. Yeah. Maybe they're ready to get over the hump. But until you see them play an opponent like this on the road, you don't know. But it's a huge opportunity for them.
If I was the Penn State defensive coach, I'd tell my group, we're going to try to contain the press, and we're going to force the Buckeyes to run the ball to beat us. I say, why? Listen, the Buckeyes average 137 yards per game running the ball. That's 92nd in the country. 92nd. I remind my team, we're second in the nation in scoring defense. And listen to this. This Penn State team can beat Ohio State in the shoe.
Oh, they can.
Definitely.
Wow.
Put it down. Whoa.
If they're going to do that, they're going to have to run the ball. Coming to the 2023 season, we thought with Katron, Allen, Nick Singleton, that these guys will be able to run the ball effectively. And they have. They're number 1 in the conference, averaging 203 yards a game. But we thought the quarterback, Drew Aller, will be able to throw the ball deep, go vertical. They have not been able to do that yet. I don't think they're going to run the ball, Coach, with that type of effectiveness against this Buckeyes defense, Pat. I think Drew Aller is going to have to make some vertical throws down the field.
Yeah, and they've been digging and dunking. I think they're like 118th in yards per pass there. And like to Kirk's point, the best offense that Penn State has played against is the 67th ranked. Thank you very much. West Virginia. But we're not only learning about Penn State today, I think we're going to continue to learn about Kyle McCord. You know, Notre Dame, fourth quarter, that drive, whenever he had to have it, it was a nice coming out party. He's continued to have success. Him and Marvin Harrison are growing at the college level. Marvin Harrison's still the best wide receiver in all of college football. Tight end Cade Stover, still there. All the running backs coming back. I think this Ohio State team is nowhere near their peak. And I think they view today as another learning obstacle for them as well.
But as much as we get caught up in the quarterbacks and the receivers, this game always is about the line of scrimmage.
The trenches.
And I think Penn State is confident on both sides of the football. Ohio State's offensive line has yet to take that step. Lee mentioned the running game. They looked better against Purdue. They'll be tested there against Penn State.
And I think they've struggled in the running game because the running backs, they've been in and out, you know, their availability. So today, they should have all 3. So I'm excited to see Ohio State's offense.
And remember one thing, they're 92nd in the nation running the ball.
I think a surprising thing, too, of the Penn State running game, they haven't had any explosive plays in the running game either, despite the fact a couple of backs who are fully capable. Brian, we've seen some great showdowns for game day the last couple of weeks, but both of those games had the potential for a rematch at the end of the conference championship game. This is different. How does that magnify the stakes for this game today for you guys?
Well, you know, every time you come out to play a game, it's an opportunity to prove somebody right and prove somebody wrong. And so you work so hard, and in a week like this, you have to maximize every single minute of your week. That's it. And you got to get your mind, your body, and your soul ready to go play. And that's really what it comes down to. And then once you get in the stadium, you just got to go put it on the field and attack and dominate.
Coach, yesterday you were awesome on our show. Thank you so much for stopping by the program. Coach Lou Holtz and you were able to bury the hatchet there. It was very good news. But for me, we led the show this morning talking about we're learning a lot about Penn State. They haven't really got a chance to play anybody yet. I think for you guys, your offense, especially your quarterback, we're learning more about him every single day. What do you expect to learn about Kyle McCord today in a massive game here in October as you guys are still trying to find your peak?
Yeah, well, it's the middle of the season, but you haven't already played a top 10 matchup. There's things that from that moment we can grow upon. Like the things that we did well, you got to enhance. The things that we need to improve on, you got to improve on. And so at least there's a reference point there to build upon. I think we're growing every single week. We got to play our best football today.
I know we got a couple plays we're gonna look at. One is a run, because as much as we talk quarterbacks, you know the line of scrimmage in a game like this will be huge. So I don't know if it's the run or the throw first, but let's take a peek. Right, it looks like the counter play.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so this one right here is a gap scheme. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a wall here, and so you're seeing the down blocks by the offensive line, and then we're pulling 2 of our offensive linemen. You can see Matt Jones coming over the edge, to block the edge, to set the edge, and then we have a reamer coming around to hit this thing. And so that's what we call a gap scheme right there. And then we got to finish the runs. And you can see, I think, in that game, Dallin did a nice job of finishing runs and making, those runs that, might have been for 4 and 5, 6 and 7. We got to block well in the perimeter and make those plays explosive.
Absolutely.
Coach, we talked about Kyle McCord, and the next play you want to talk about what do you expect him to do in a game like this? Go up against a really tough Penn State defense.
Yeah, no, a lot of challenge coverage right here. You can see we got man-to-man across the board. And just, this play in particular, you're seeing Kate Stover here. I think it's on a safety. And so, we got to win against one-on-one coverage. We got to win our matchups, whether it's up front with the battles up front. We know that, Penn State has a very good defensive line, and they're going to challenge us up front. But we got to win right here. And contested throws and catches are going to be critical to win this game.
And one more look at the passing, the ability. There was a good example of freezing that safety and then putting that ball to the outside. Sometimes fans just see quarterbacks throw. Yeah. They don't really realize what he's doing as far as location and an area that he's growing. This is another play from last week where, again, you guys are spread out.
Yep.
And it's a chance here, I think, for him to work. There's a safety that's walked up close at the line of scrimmage. They go pre-snap to post-snap. He recognizes that and able to make a great throw.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, when you're dealing with zone coverage, you have a movement key, and you got to win against that movement key. It's the job for the receivers to space it out against zone and win against man-to-man. And that was a zone play. I think he did a good job of identifying it, spacing out the routes and putting it on him.
We just broke down the offense there. Last question here for me. Let's talk about your defense. It's gotten better and better since you bring in Knowles, obviously from Oklahoma State. Now you're taking on a kid that was the Ohio State Player of the Year in high school. He said, get me the hell out of here. I'm going to Penn State. What do you know from that offense that maybe makes you think your defense?
I feel like you're coming at me right now.
Don't get him fired up.
Listen, a lot of respect just across the board. Penn State has a great team. James does a great job. Drew's a really good quarterback. The way that kind of shook out, where he had a commitment from another quarterback, and got a lot of respect for him and his family, and certainly being from Ohio.
Your defense, though, good.
Yeah. Well, they got to keep building and growing. Again, they have reference points along the way, but I know they feel like they still haven't reached their peak yet, so they still want to have something to prove.
Hey, Coach, our producer keeps asking me who am I going to pick in this game. And for you to join us here, you seem so relaxed, so comfortable. I may have to lean Buckeyes today. I may have to go with the Buckeyes today. I'm just saying, Coach. I'm going to check and make sure he's okay.
But I think the point of a week like this is, the stress is early in the week.
Yeah.
Putting all the work in, so now you can go play with great confidence.
Absolutely.
And this has got to be an advantage for us. Being in our stadium, we're asking the crowd to be really loud when they have the ball.
That's right.
Something we can capitalize.
Yes, sir.
So what are you gonna say to them, to the crowd, when you get in there today and get ready in the skull session? What's the message to them?
Bring it. Let's go, man. Let's go. How loud can we possibly be? Gotta go win.
Hell yeah, Coach.